wake up any more than I am already.
Salutations! You have found yourself at the Macabre Academy. I had to try something new. Sorry. It's me, Steffi, aka Nerdy Witch. Roll call, guys.
Brandy.
Hello, you beautiful motherfuckers. Kevin.
Okay. Before we kick this off, I'm going to apologize in advance because I found a new peanut butter whiskey. So I'm going to be getting snookered on that. But luckily, it's not my episode.
It's mine. We're all fucked.
I think I may have researched the wrong topic then. Oops.
Whoops. You know, we are professionals here.
We need like a Google document that has like what the episode's going to be so I don't do this next time.
What did you research?
The Spartan episode that you were talking about.
This one's Alissa Turney, from what I understand.
Yes.
Shit.
Yeah,
Don't mind me, there'll be some clacking in the background.
Well, you have time to research while Brandy goes over this case.
Like
Yeah,
I said,
don't
there's going to be
worry.
some clacking in the background, guys. So if you're playing podcast bingo, listen, just knock loud typing off your
There you
bingo
go.
card right now.
Oh my god. Okay, so we'll start. I'm just going to jump around. It's how I do this.
It's really how you do
Jump
this.
around. Jump around.
So, Alissa Turney was 17 years old when she went missing on May 17th, 2001. She went missing from the last day of school after her stepfather picked her up early and didn't tell anyone that he picked her up early. And then no one knows what happened to her. He was the last one to see her alive and has never said anything about it.
So wait, what's the dynamic then? Because you just immediately went person, stepdad. So I'm assuming there's a blended family thing.
There is. I'm going to get into the family background.
Okay, do your thing.
We hate the stepdad.
Motherfucker.
100%.
Actually,
So-
he is a motherfucker.
So he's trash.
Okay,
And
but not
I
our
hate
kind of
him.
trash.
No, like he's bad trash and I want to murder him. And like I'm not the only one, so it's fine. So the family dynamic, oh, that's not right, was the mother Barbara, Alissa's biological father Stephen Strom, and then her stepfather Michael Turney. With Barbara and Michael, they had a very blended family. People like refer to it as the Brady Bunch, and I hate that because it just drives me crazy. So they had, between the two of them, Barbara brought with her son James and Alissa. James was from a first marriage or relationship that failed, and then Alissa was from her marriage. Michael had Rhett, Michael Turney, and then John. And then they had together Sarah. So all together there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kids. Yeah, 6 kids in this family, which was way too fucking many. And all of the kids believe, rightfully so, that Michael killed Alissa. And just has not told anyone about it. So we're going to go into Barbara and Stephen Strom's marriage to start, and then we're just going to kind of work out from there. Okay?
Sounds like a plan.
Great. So
'Cause, I
Barbara...
mean, you went balls deep, like right off the bat.
Yeah.
There's like zero banter.
Yeah. So, like, this is the case, like, everyone kind of has a case that they're obsessed with. This is mine. I've read every article about it. I've listened to every podcast. I've listened to every YouTube video. And, like, there's just so much that doesn't add up. And the stepfather's still out and free and just gets to live his life, and the police aren't doing anything about it. So, like, this case just pisses me off, and, like, it's not fair. Like, the family deserves the closure of just tell me where she's at, the body, you know? Like, if she's not alive, which by this point, she's been gone for 19 years. They all know she's not alive. Just tell us where she's at.
Mm-hmm.
And he won't. He's a piece of shit. So, Barbara and Steven got married. Barbara already had John from a previous relationship, and then together they had Alissa. When Alissa was 3 years old, Barbara left Steven and married Michael Turney. Steven never signed away his parental rights to Alissa. Ever. But somehow, Michael was able to adopt Alissa legally.
Well, that sounds like some shenanigans. Yeah.
So Michael understands the court systems really, really well because he used to be a police officer. So he knows how to get around absolutely everything to get what he wants. And he wanted Steven out of their lives. He wanted to be able to control Barbara and the children. He's a control freak and just very, like, abusive in that way. And he's trash. So Michael claims that Alissa was sexually and physically abused when she was a young child by Steven. And, like, her mother had taken her when she was very young to her pediatrician, and they did find signs of sexual abuse.
Content warning.
Sorry. I have it further down in my notes. Hold on, wait. I'll show you.
I was like, where's the content warning?
But, like, wait, do you see the trigger warning in there? No.
I don't. Oh,
Right
it's all
there.
the way down.
Yeah, because that's where I, like, had the section on sexual abuse. Because it gets worse. So, like, they took her to her pediatrician, and there was some signs of sexual abuse. CPS is in and out of this house nonstop. When the kids were younger, the family had hard times with money. Obviously, you have 6 kids. It's a lot of fucking kids. Kids are expensive. So they would do, like, Barbara would babysit the neighborhood kids for extra money. So there were always tons of kids running around the house. And Alissa got into some of Michael's pills at one point. They had to call poison control. That got CPS involved. Sarah, the youngest, actually escaped the house one day when she was really young and got hit by a car. And that made CPS come back into the house and just keep investigating everything. So Michael finally was able to completely alienate Barbara and the kids from Steven, and Steven didn't get to see the kids anymore. So Steven was still getting, like, visitation with John and Alissa, but Michael basically convinced Barbara that he was super abusive and was bad influences on the kids. So they didn't get to see them anymore. Michael is the only investigative lead in this case. The whole family thinks he did it. He had a passive recording system on the phone. So literally any phone call that was made coming in or going out was recorded on his phone system. And the entire family knew it, so they wouldn't talk on the phone if they had something important to say. He also had hidden, like, security cameras all throughout the house. And he was just crazy paranoid and, like, honestly just insane. He got this, like, paranoia from his brother and father because they did the exact same thing. They videotaped their family constantly. They constantly were recording people because they didn't trust anyone.
This kind also of fucked up, though. I mean,
it's extremely.
Did I tell you about when I was staying at my husband's house, how I thought I was under surveillance?
No.
I don't know if you noticed, but in that back room on the one shelf was a baby monitor. and it was pointed towards my bed. And I would unplug it because I could see a little green light on.
Oh.
And my husband's like, oh no, that's not what it's for, blah, 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 blah. And I would keep finding it with the green light on. I said, if you're using this to watch Evie, why is it on at night when I'm in my room? Was that not fucked up?
That's extremely fucked up.
And I wasn't even sure. I mean, even if it was still a baby monitor, that's kind of scary, knowing that somebody was watching you. So I couldn't imagine knowing I was being recorded on top of it.
Oh, yeah. And, like, the whole family knew. So, like, if Barbara had to talk to her friends because, like, Michael was abusive. Maybe not physically, but definitely emotionally. And if she had to have, like, a super important conversation, she wouldn't do it over the phone. She'd be like, oh, hey, let's just, like, meet up for coffee and talk and hang out. And then they would talk about things when they were out of the house because nowhere in the house was safe.
Yeah.
And this comes into play later because he's so crazy about recording everything and keeping all the records of everything. But some things just mysteriously go missing.
Bullshit.
Yeah. So, Michael came from, like, a weird family. Like, they just had a very long history of sexually assaulting women and young girls. And they also, a lot of them, like, were in the police force, so they could cover themselves up more, which is fucked up. So, Barbara and Michael's relationship started when Michael went into Barbara's work to refinance his mortgage. They kind of hit it off, and the very next day he sent her flowers at work. And he sent her flowers every day until she left her husband.
I'm sorry, but flowers aren't enough to convince me to leave.
No, but, like, so Steven and Barbara were having a rough relationship, and they were on the rocks. And then Michael shows up and starts treating Barbara like a princess and treating her really, really well. And she goes, oh, well, maybe I don't need Steven.
I don't know. The first men to show up in my life after me and my husband separated, I gave him a big old fuck off.
That's fair.
So I don't get it, but I'm with you. I'm wooed by the flowers. Okay.
So basically, Barbara and Michael start dating. Barbara divorces her husband. They get married, like, almost instantly. Their relationship was rough because money was tight. They had 5 kids. Obviously, that sucks ass. Sarah, so Sarah is the younger sister, and she's the one that is really campaigning to get her father put away. She has her own podcast called Voices for Justice, and that's where I got a lot of my information from. And she goes into deep detail about her father's past, about her mother, about everything in the family, and breaks absolutely everything down. I mean, everyone should go listen to it because it's amazing. But she does podcast interviews for any podcast that would question her or ask her to do it in a heartbeat. So she's constantly doing interviews. She's constantly getting media. She's constantly bringing attention to the case in hopes to get it solved.
Do you think that is somebody you might want to reach out to?
I mean, we could and see if, like, as a follow-up episode.
I think it would be cool if we at least tried.
Yeah. So after Sarah was born, Barbara got really, really sick with lung and bone cancer.
Ugh. Fuck cancer.
Yeah, it's bad. So when Barbara got sick, Mike decided to move the entire family from where they were living in Arizona to California. He said that the reason for this was that there were better doctors for her out there, but in reality, it was away from her entire family. So he picked up her and all the kids, and they moved states away for better doctors, when I think that it was really just to isolate them. So Barbara had no choice but to only be with him and care about him and pay attention to him. And like that's a common theme. He likes to isolate all of the people and then start to control them.
It's very easy once you get somebody to be codependent on you to then further manipulate them. I know because this just happened to me.
Exactly.
Yeah. Dun, dun, dun.
So Barbara's family went to visit her in the last like weeks of her life. And the last couple days before she died, all of her siblings said that Mike would tell them, so she's going to be in a lot of pain and we just need to up her morphine to basically keep her in this coma and keep her sedated. But he was doing it to the point where the doctor didn't say to up her morphine. The doctor said, no, she's fine. Like, she's okay. And he just, basically, the family felt that he was overdosing her. And then in February, he told everyone that he got fired from the union that he was working with. And being fired means that your benefits run out at the end of the month. All benefits.
You know how hard it is to get fired from a fucking union?
Well, he didn't get fired. He quit. There's paperwork that he signed saying, yeah, if I quit, I lose all my benefits. Your wife is literally an end stage cancer. And you're going to quit your job and lose your benefits? So basically, he said that she had to die by the end of February or they wouldn't have benefits and they couldn't take care of her anymore.
Well, then why the fuck did you quit your job? Why couldn't you just hang in there for another month or two?
Because he's a manipulative psychopath. And just wanted everyone to feel bad for him because, oh, woe is me. I just lost my job and my wife is dying from cancer. How could they fire you when your wife is dying from cancer?
So
That's
he's an attention whore.
Yes.
Like this cat right now.
1,000%. So
hey, all
Barbara,
cats are good cats.
No.
Yes, all cats are good cats.
Well, this is Lucy here.
Oh, she's a good cat. She's cute.
All cats are good cats.
She won't leave me alone. That's the Pursaurus.
So Barbara ended up dying on February 28th.
Love that timing.
Yeah, perfect timing. Michael did not want a funeral. Michael did not want an autopsy done, even though the family was like, yeah, we really want an autopsy. Like, please. Michael hated her family because they smoked pot.
Just marijuana. Get over it.
Yeah. So basically, her last Thanksgiving, she was so sick and so weak and just wasn't eating. So her sisters took her on a short little like ride around the neighborhood, like a short little walk, and they smoked some pot. She came home and she ate Thanksgiving dinner. And
my aunt.
Yes.
You know my neck tattoo?
Yeah.
The last time I smoked marijuana was with her because she was stage 4 breast cancer. And her doctor, at the time, it wasn't medically acceptable, but the doctor said, if you can get the pot, smoke the pot. And she was so sick. It was the only thing that would settle her stomach so she could eat and help ease the pain. And I broke my shit. I broke.
Are you fixed now?
Hot Mess Express.
Is it better now?
Yeah.
Completely broke it. The cat jumped out of my arms and the cord got ripped and I got tangled.
Good job.
Yeah, but I have a breast cancer ribbon tattooed on my neck for my Aunt Maria that, the pot is amazing for so many things. I don't even really smoke the pot. Like literally last time I smoked it was 8 years ago with her. But the medical benefits of marijuana outweigh whatever weird hippie brainwashy shit they. This is Nixon's fault. Why are you scoffing at me? It is.
Why?
Because he put the war on the hippies and the marijuana. If he would have just taxed that shit then, do you know how much extra money the government would have?
Oh, yeah,
You're
you're
from
not
the
wrong.
post office.
Yeah. This is completely Nixon's fault, though. Him and them dirty hippies, they can't smoke the pot and have free love and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. So that last Thanksgiving, they smoked the pot. She ate dinner, and she was actually feeling okay and happy.
That's because it's
And-
good for you. I'm sorry
Yeah.
to say. The pot is
I
good for
agree.
you if you have the fucking cancer.
So you would think any normal human would be like, oh, okay, like I don't agree with you smoking pot, but like at least you're happy and like you feel good and you're good enough to eat.
You're dying of cancer. Shut the hell up.
Mhm.
Sorry, I'm mad.
You're just gonna get more mad, don't worry. So instead of being happy, he's in the kitchen making fun of her to the children.
Wait, what? Like what? What the fuck did he say?
Like he was like, oh, this is what stupid people look like. This is what potheads look like. Don't be like them. They're drug users. Da-da-da. And was
It's
just like
not a
going off
drug.
stupid stuff.
It's a medicine.
Exactly.
Medicine.
And so he did not like Barbara's family at all. So after Barbara died, he moved the family right back to Arizona and kept them away from Barbara's family. They were not allowed to see them. They were not allowed to talk to them. They
What,
were
because she was
bad.
being helped by them?
Yeah, basically.
What the fuck?
This
I'm
guy's an
now
asshole.
mad. Yeah.
Mm.
I didn't understand why you were mad. I'm already on the mad train. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. So after Barbara died, Michael jumped from job to job. Michael has mental problems. I don't know what they are, but he has mental problems. He's paranoid. He has depression, obviously, but he's just extremely paranoid. He's one of those people that thinks that everyone is out to get him and everyone wants to kill him and wants to take all of his things and take his family away.
Mm.
So after a while, he got in an accident where he got pushed, air quotes, off of a roof. He claims that this was He claims that this was an attempt to murder him put together by the union that he worked for at the time. No, bitch. If they wanted to kill you, they wouldn't push you off a roof. They would kill you. There's easier ways to kill you.
Yeah, no, a roof.
Yeah.
No. Worst case you get from jumping off of a normal roof is a concussion or a broken leg. It is not tall enough on a house to technically kill you unless you land in a very specific way. If you're going to do a hit, that is not what you fucking do. Push them in front of a train. That'll take care of it. Nobody comes back from
It was
that.
an electrical union and a roofing union. They can electrocute you. Like, I can make things look like an accident.
Drop the toaster in the tub. Come on.
Exactly. So he tells everyone that this fall shattered his leg, and that's why he was put on disability for the rest of his life and can never work.
I mean, he might have fucked up his leg on purpose, but you could fuck up a leg jumping off of a roof.
You could,
technically,
except that his daughter Sarah never remembers him in a cast.
Okay.
If your dad shattered his leg, would you not remember him in a cast?
Yeah, you've been in that for a hot minute.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
So, as part of his disability, he had to go to, like, counseling sessions with a therapist. So your disability wasn't for your leg. Your disability was for your mind. Like, you were just a crazy person and you couldn't work. So, Michael being at home all the time because he couldn't work because of his shattered leg gave him all of the time in the world to keep an eye.
Question.
Yes.
Answer.
You said he had police connections, so he knew how to do all that shit. How do you get a medical doctor to sign off on some of this? Because usually for disability benefits and blah, 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 did he have to bribe a doctor?
No, so he lied to his friends and family. His disability is for his mental problems. Yeah.
I have mental problems. I'm not disabled. That's just being lazy.
Exactly. So he tells everyone it's because of the union. The union tried to kill me. I can't work because the union tried to kill me, and they still want to kill me. So, like,
why do they want to kill him so bad?
Because he claims he was a whistleblower. Well, he is a piece of shit.
That's what I'm saying.
But he claims that he was a whistleblower and that caused the union to be like, fuck this dude, we're just going to kill him. No.
I don't buy it.
I don't buy anything this man says. So, him being home gives him more time to make sure Alissa follows all of his ridiculous fucking rules. So, he likes to point out that she was so stupid that
his dying wife is stupid.
His daughter, his stepdaughter. Oh. Now, we're on Alissa.
I shouldn't drink.
It's okay. So, Michael treated all of his children very differently. For his 3 sons and John, his stepson, he treated them great. He was like, oh, you can grow up and do anything. You guys are smart. Like, you're good kids. Sarah was the exact same way. Sarah, you're smart. You're gorgeous. You're amazing. You can do anything you put your mind to. Alissa was stupid. Alissa, he claims, had ADHD. The way he treats her because she had ADHD pisses me off. So he likes to point out that, in his words, she was so stupid that they had to hire her a tutor in kindergarten because she didn't know her ABCs.
No.
That's not your child's fault. That's your fault for being a bad parent.
Yeah, but realistically, that's not a learning disability if you've just started kindergarten. You wouldn't see problems like that until the 1st or 2nd grade. You have to go through the whole school year before you make that kind of determination.
Exactly.
Well, the point of kindergarten is to teach kids how to do school. Like, that's the only reason people go to kindergarten.
ABCs, colors, and how to be in school. That's it.
Like, that's why, like, no.
So, like, I just hate it. And, like, he calls her names, and he's just so nasty to her. So, I blame him for her not knowing her ABCs.
Yeah, his fucking fault.
1,000%. That's on the parents. That's not on the child. So, fast forward. When Alissa was in 3rd grade, Michael started dating her teacher.
Gross.
Super gross. Super don't like that.
I don't like that either.
Sarah remembers this woman being around and helping take care of them and just always being there and being really nice. This teacher was also still married to her husband.
Oh, so it was like an affair.
Yeah. And decided, hey, I'm just going to go back to my husband and I'm not going to be with you anymore.
Wait, what did this teacher even consider the damage that would do to a child? That I'm your teacher, I'm married to somebody else, but I'm going to fuck your daddy?
No. But also, this teacher should not be a teacher and should be beaten in the face.
You're maybe not
murdered. No, it gets worse. So,
how does it get?
Alissa,
you do this to me.
So, teachers are what they call mandated reporters.
Yes, I had to go through this. I know exactly what that is.
Right. Yep. This woman did not do that. Alissa in 3rd grade went up to her teacher and said, I'm having sex with my dad. I don't give a fuck if that's wrong or not. You call CPS. No.
Oh my God. They got
called
to
Michael.
No, my eldest daughter lied and said her dad kicked her in the chest, and we had to deal with CPS for that. She didn't have a mark on her. Her dad didn't kick her. Look, her dad is capable of some big-ass bullshit, but he would never kick a child in the chest. Me, sure. I'm sure he would choke slam me again in a heartbeat. But
Exactly.
they did a full investigation. Even the principal had to apologize to me because they both knew that she wasn't getting abused. But he says it's their job when a kid says something, no matter how idly, that they must report and they must investigate it. They have to. And then they have to remain impartial during the process. They can't take sides.
So she did none of that. She, instead of calling CPS, she just goes to Michael and goes, hey, so Alissa told me this. And Michael goes, oh, well, that's because she's so stupid. She thought that kissing someone was sex. I don't give a shit. You still call CPS. You still get that investigated.
Well, maybe she didn't want to believe it because she was fucking him.
Still, fuck you. You're a bad teacher.
It's awful.
So she, instead of going to the authorities, went to the man who was abusing her. And we don't know if that's true or not. But Alissa had these conversations with her friends in teenage years. She had these conversations with her boyfriend in teenage years about how Michael was trying to sexually abuse her. And it was wrong. And he just kept getting away with it. So one of Michael's nieces was staying with the family for the summer and was super grossed out by Michael. She says that it was Michael's brother's daughter. So his brother was just as fucked as he is, and he was sexually abusing his children. So when Michael asked her, hey, will you give me a back rub? She didn't think anything of it because, well, okay, that's just normal. And later that night, Michael came into her room and asked her if she wanted a back rub. This girl was so terrified. She looked at her and goes, no, I don't. I'm good. And literally was so afraid to go to sleep because she thought that he was going to come in while she was asleep and molest her. And that's just not okay. And when she told her mother came and picked her up the very next day, and she never went to stay at his house again.
Good.
Another cousin was staying with the family just until he got back on his feet. And he was actually working at Sam's Club. And so...
Not sponsored.
One night after work, he went to put a movie on. Now, this was still in like the early 90s, so they had VHS tapes.
Oh,
so he picks one up.
Tape.
Right? So he picks one up.
Rewind.
And
also, sidebar.
Yeah.
Can we just talk for a minute how stupid it is that we got rid of Blockbusters to go to fucking Redbox?
You're not wrong.
Like,
Did you see they turned one into an Airbnb?
But like, why are we standing outside in the freezing cold in the bright sun where you can't see the goddamn screen instead of a nice building? Like, what the fuck?
They turned a Blockbuster into an Airbnb.
Okay,
you can't turn a Redbox. It goes with what Kev's saying. You need a physical building.
Listen, I understand that, but I was like, how do you turn like a vending machine into an Airbnb? What did you do?
I think I missed the most is when a new movie would come out and you would go to the Blockbuster and then you realize the entire wall was empty.
Yes.
Like you never felt disappointment.
Oh, yeah.
Until you saw facings of all these movie VHSs and even early DVDs, and not one of them had the clear box behind it to take to rent.
Oh yeah.
No.
We got used to disappointment real early in our lives.
Yeah, we did.
You're not
yeah, we did. So I think the tape that he put in was like labeled Dr. Dolittle or something like that, like one of those movies. And he was like, okay, we'll put this in and I'll just watch it after work. And when he pressed play, it was not that at all. He saw a young girl with a newspaper covering her face being molested. He swears that this girl was Alissa.
Well, did she have any birthmarks or defining characteristics or?
I don't know. I don't know how he knows, but I think it was just one of those gut feelings where, like, you just know.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
I was just trying to, like, circumstantial evidence versus physical evidence, because we learned what a problem that was with the butcher baker.
Yes. So a lot of this is circumstantial because Michael knew what to get rid of and knew how to get rid of things. So that's when the cousin decided that he had to leave that house and never come back. So he, yeah. And I mean, the older brothers had all graduated high school by now and were living on their own. And they all said, well, we'll take Alissa in. Like, if you don't want her anymore, like, we'll take her. If she's such a problem, let us have her. And Michael was basically just like, no, she'll try to blackmail you like she blackmails me. Because he would call CPS and be like, hey, so my daughter is threatening to call you guys saying that I'm sexually assaulting her, and I'm not. So, like, don't believe her when she calls you.
That would make me want to go more.
Exactly. And they did nothing. Nothing was done. Like, everyone failed her in this case. Everyone.
Slipped through every crack, it sounds like.
Mm-hmm. And she's still being failed. So, Alissa had to sign contracts from her father saying that she was never abused sexually or physically. She had to sign contracts that she would follow any and all rules that he had for her.
It's a fucking piece of paper. It means nothing. There has to
He
be a
had
man.
them notarized.
Wait. Let's wait. Hold up. How in the literal fuck can you notarize a contract between you and your daughter written on some fucking notebook paper that says I'm not being molested? That's
Because
not
he
a
was
thing.
smart.
No, it can't be a thing. I do not believe it. It cannot be a thing.
He sued so many people, which is why, like, I'm not saying he did it, but he did it. Don't sue me. Hi. So, in my opinion, he did it. I have no proof, but he did it. So, he sued so many people. He sued the union. He sued the phone companies. He sued literally anyone he could. He sued the school district. He sued everyone. So he knew his way around a courtroom because he never used a lawyer. And his background in law enforcement helped with everything. So he knew all the ins and outs of everything that he needed to know to get away with whatever the fuck he wanted. We hate him. There's a special place in hell for him.
I feel like I need migraine medication.
Yeah.
This whiskey's not cutting it.
Yeah.
I'm already frustrated.
So, all of Alissa's rules were written on, like, big poster board and posted all over the house. Because, in Michael's words, she was too stupid because of her ADHD to remember her rules. So, he treated Alissa as though she was, and this is his words, not mine, because I fucking hate this. He said that she was retarded. And it was his own personal hell to deal with this retarded child.
Look, he couldn't even say it right since it's so uncomfortable.
I couldn't. I hate it. You don't refer to a child like that. That's not okay.
I mean, you did in the 90s, though, unfortunately.
Yeah.
The 90s were a wild time.
And, like, it just makes me so mad. So, Kevin, do you have any ADHD research? No?
No, but I could do some real quick.
No, it's okay. So, like...
I mean, my best friend has ADHD. We've talked about it a bit. Like,
yeah, my oldest daughter had it.
My sister has it, and my nephew. Like, yes, they have trouble focusing, but it does not make them slow to the point where they cannot function.
No, in fact, if anything, the brain going that fast, they were almost like too smart, and everything else around them was moving too slow.
Exactly. That's how I saw it, was they just had so much going on in their brain. So because he felt that she was stupid because of her ADHD. She was under constant surveillance from the cameras that her father had all over the house.
Yeah, I still hate that.
He had one hidden in the vent in their living room.
Also, how big did this camera have to be in the fucking 90s?
Yeah, right?
Like, seriously. Like, like back then, a VHS player was the size of a bazooka.
Yeah, so I don't know where he got a camera that he could hide in his vent, but there was a camera in the vent.
Well, I mean, if you're police, right, they do have that for surveillance and sting operations, and
So he probably knew where to get it.
Yeah, I mean,
then you have to run a hard wire to it to keep it powered. There's so much going on. There's a lot.
It's dedication to fuckery, is what
there's
it is.
He
there's
is
a lot
psychotic. So, Alissa was not allowed to go out as much as she wanted. Obviously, she's a teenager. She wants to hang out with her friends. She wants to go smoke cigarettes, smoke pot, get drunk, do whatever she wants to do as a teenager. Everyone has those days.
Well, you got to numb the pain somehow when you're going through something traumatic and
Exactly.
you don't know how to deal with it.
Exactly. And so he wouldn't let her do that. So he told Sarah that Alissa was always just being rebellious and being a bad person and is just a bad child, and don't ever be like that because that's bad and she's stupid and you don't want to be like her. And so he actually made contracts up for her friends' parents to sign, saying, so the one was for a birthday party, and it literally said, there will be no boys sleeping over the house other than the people that already live in the house. There will be no alcohol. There will be no sex. There will be no drugs. There will be no cigarettes. And you will not allow Alissa to do any of this stuff. And if the parents didn't sign these contracts, Alissa wasn't allowed to go. And, like, that pisses me off, too. Like, fuck you, dude. So, the only time when she was ever really alone was when she was at school or at work. But even then, if you just look up on YouTube, like, Alissa Turney videos, you'll find videos of him videotaping her at work. So she worked at a fast food place. He's literally in the parking lot in his car, zooming the camera in so that he can see her in the store. And at one point, the manager's like, he can't do that. Like, you need to tell him he's not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to record in here. And she goes, it's my dad. It's my first job. He's just, like, excited to see me and wants to, like, document it. No. Not for an entire shift. And you just sit out there and watch her. And so, a lot of the videotapes that have been released are disturbing and just, like, weird. So there's one where Sarah, Alissa, and Michael all went on, like, a camping trip. And during this camping trip, Sarah's playing with the camcorder and is, like, recording everything. And Alyssa's in the background, and you hear her scream, Sarah, Dad's a pervert. At 14 years old, you're not going to just yell out, Dad's a pervert, unless Dad's doing something. And Michael's response was, Sarah, Alyssa's a stupid moron, in a mocking voice. And then he tells her to turn off the camera and forcibly takes it from her. So he was just a piece of shit. So now we're going to go to the day that she went missing. So it was the last day of junior year, and obviously it was a half day because your last day of school typically is a half day. Her stepfather took her and her sister to school like always, and then between 10:30 and 11, he came back to the school and took Alissa out of school early. So it was already a half day, and then he took her out early anyway.
Oh, was she there for like an hour?
I mean, high school starts at like 7, so maybe like 3 hours. But he didn't tell anyone that he took her out early. He never told Sarah that he took her out early. He never mentioned it to the police. They only found out when her friends came forward and they were like, Yeah, we remember her leaving. Like, she came in, she said, bye, I'll see you later tonight, and then she left. So, on her way out of school, it's the last day of school, she doesn't give a fuck anyway. She goes and interrupts all the classes that her friends are in, and one of her last stops was at her boyfriend's class, in shop class. And she told him that she would see him after school at the party, because they were going to have like a graduation party, because they were going to become seniors. So they were celebrating like the old seniors graduation. She never made it to that party that we know of, because the police never investigated it until 7 years later.
Well, if she went missing, somebody would have had to remember her at that party, right? They slapped posters everywhere and shit.
No.
Wait, they didn't?
No. We're getting there. So, fast forward to 4 p.m. Sarah was on a school field trip, last day of like 7th, 8th grade, to a water park. So when she gets back to school, her dad's not there to pick her up. And she's like, okay, whatever, that's normal. Like, whatever, he's probably just doing something stupid. So she went to a friend's house to wait. And while they were there, they were smoking cigarettes. They were doing all the things that they weren't supposed to do. Mm-hmm. So he finally comes to pick her up sometime between like 4 and 5-ish. And at this point, when Sarah gets in the car, she's like, fuck, he's gonna smell cigarette smoke on me. And she like sprayed herself with perfume to basically just cover up the cigarette smoke. Didn't really work, but he didn't say
that does not work.
Yeah, but when you're 12 and 13, you're like, ooh, that'll work. I'm just gonna cover myself up. And like, he didn't mention it at all. The only thing he did was throw his cell phone at Sarah and told her to call Alissa's phone, because the only 2 people in the house that had cell phones was him and Alissa. And him and Sarah like shared a phone whenever Sarah needed it. So he throws his phone at Sarah and he's like, hey, I can't get a hold of Alissa. You try calling. She still wasn't answering. So they just go home. And the first thing Sarah did when they got home was went directly to Alissa's room to see if she was in there. Now, Alissa's room was kept very clean all the time. So when Sarah walked in and it was a mess, she was like, this is not right. Something's wrong. Her backpack was flipped and dumped, basically just emptied onto her bed. So everything from her backpack was on her bed. And her phone, because Sarah kept trying to call it, her phone was vibrating on the dresser. And next to her phone on the dresser was a note. So I'm going to read the note. And the note doesn't make any sense. Okay. This note is not like a real runaway note. So it says, Dad and Sarah, when you dropped me off at school today, I decided I really am going to go to California. Sarah, you said you wanted me gone. Now you have it. Dad, I took $300 from you. That's why I was saving my money. Alissa. So, if she decided in the morning that she was going to run away,
why did she tell people she would see them later?
Exactly. And why would she come home, dump out her backpack, leave all her stuff there? She didn't take... So, like, in the 90s, you remember, your makeup was everything. Your jewelry was everything.
You need lip gloss. You fucking need it.
Yes.
You need your butterfly clips, okay? Mm-hmm. You need your roll-on glitter.
Nothing. Everything was in her room still. She didn't take her phone. She didn't take any of her stuff. And her backpack was still on her bed. If I'm going to dump out my backpack to use to run away, I'm going to take that with me. There was nothing missing from her room.
Not even like socks, like clothes?
Nope. She did not run away.
My mind immediately is thinking, if you get into an interrogation situation and you're paranoid as fuck and you're angry, wouldn't you dump out your kid's backpack?
Mm-hmm.
if you're in a confrontation with them, all right, well, I know you were doing the thing, brark, here's proof, empty out backpack, find said thing. Because I've done this to my eldest daughter, I can't count how many times.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't have homework. And I was like, oh, really? Turn over the backpack and find it crumpled up in the bottom. I did it all the time.
Yeah. It's exactly what you would do. So, and his story does not line up at all. So he says that after he picked her up from school, which he didn't tell anyone that he picked her up from school, but they got in a fight and she ran down the hall to her room and slammed the door. And at that point he decided, okay, whatever, I have to go get groceries, I have errands to run, and then I have to go get Sarah. So I'm not dealing with this right now, I'll deal with it when I come home. So he says that after their fight that she decided to leave. But if that was the case, would the note not say, Dad and Sarah, after my fight this afternoon,
Yeah, not
I've
first thing in
decided
the
to
morning.
leave. Yeah. So another weird thing, she had almost I want to say it was over $2,000 in her bank account. Why do you need to steal the $300 from your dad? You have $2,000 of your own. And that $2,000 is never touched. Ever. So.
Especially if you're running away to California, you would touch that shit.
And California is where her aunts lived. So, her mom's sisters. So that's why it was, I'm going to California. I'm just going to go live with my aunts. So that night, her father called the police to report her. Instead of reporting her as a missing child, he reports her as a runaway. Now he knows, ooh, that face. He knows that if you report them as a runaway, nothing gets done. The cops won't go and look for them because it's not the cops' responsibility. It's the family's responsibility to find you if you're a runaway.
Wait, how old was she when she ran
17.
away? That's so hard. Because at 18, there's even harder protocols to say that this is a runaway or this person is missing. And if he knew his way around that bullshit, he could probably pull that for a 17-year-old.
Yeah, so basically he called the police. He's like, hey, I just want to report my daughter as a runaway. I know where she's at. She's at her family's in California. I think she went to her aunt's house. But, I just wanted to report her as a runaway because she's still 17. And, I don't want to be responsible for that if anything happens. Dude, you're responsible. It is your daughter by law because you adopted her. This is your responsibility. So, a week later, the police never come and question anyone. Never even come to get a statement from Sarah, Michael, or anything. And I think that's wrong. Even if it's a runaway, I still think you should send someone out and get a statement from people. Just in case. So, a week later, Michael claims to have gotten a phone call from Alissa very early in the morning. But here's the thing. That passive recording system happened to be turned off. So it didn't get recorded.
But there'd still be a way to trace phone calls.
So, yes, there is. And he got the phone records, and the phone call did come from a payphone in California. But in that week time from when she went missing to when he got this phone call, he had been out in California searching for her. So did he find someone out there that he was like, hey, make this phone call for me and just call me at this time and this day? And I'll turn off my passive recording system and no one will know who it was. And I'll just tell them, oh, it was Alissa. It's fine. So another fun little tip. So he had the recording systems in the vents and everywhere else. yeah, he looked at those tapes. There wasn't anything important on them. So he decided to tape over them.
Hey, videotape's expensive.
He kept everything.
Hey, listen, times are tough. Video's expensive.
Listen, you killed your stepdaughter and you're trying to get away with it. You're a piece of shit. So, Michael sued the phone company, acting like the big good guy hero, to get the phone records so that he could prove that this phone call came from, I think it was Desert City, California, which is literally just like nothing. And that's where he claims that she is. Or she's just in.
Has anybody gone out to that town to look for her?
No.
What about the local authorities there?
No.
We got a lead. Look out for this chick.
No. Because Sarah has tried. Michael and Sarah went to California multiple times because Michael is like, she's in California. That's where she's at. She's not in Arizona. We're not even looking here. They didn't even put up missing posters. He had Sarah make them and then he never put them up. And like, so like the part that like really bothers me is Sarah interviews a lot of Alyssa's friends on her podcast. And the one friend just kept saying, when Mike called and asked me if Alissa was with me and then told me that she had run away, her first reaction wasn't to be sad. It was to be happy that Alissa got out of that situation. She wasn't like, oh, something happened. She was like, oh, thank God she got away. And now she's like, no, something happened. And I hate that that was my reaction, to be like, oh, thank God she's out of there.
It's not, she was wishing well for her friend.
Exactly. And that's how I see it too. Like, you're 17. Like, oh, thank God she got out of that abusive home. She got away from him. She got to do what she really wanted.
You know, people were happy that me and my husband separated.
I was. So, but like Michael kept videotapes all the way back to the 80s, just keeping them because, well, there might be something on there that I need because these people are out to get me and they're trying to kill me. So for him to record over and not even show the police what was on the videotape from the day Alissa left blows my mind.
No, it's shady as shit.
It's extremely shady. So
I call shenanigans.
Oh yeah, so many shenanigans.
Do I have to get my broom?
Yes.
So the thing that really opened the case back up was, hold on, let me go in here. Since Kev didn't do research.
I did research for the wrong week.
You're trash, dude.
He was misinformed. That's probably my fault.
It's okay. I just have to pull up the article that I have. And I'll tell you about his bomb trial that kind of got...
Oh, you mean the 26th they found in this place?
Yeah.
See, I did some research.
Okay, good job.
The only thing I
really rating all this.
Photo for the website. That is all I saw was a photo of Alissa Turney looking for...
Oh, you got a photo?
Yeah, because I'd update the Macabre Academy for upcoming episodes.
Oh, good.
So I got a photo. That is all I saw of this case.
I'm sorry for the background noise, y'all. It just started raining, and I'm too lazy to move my ass inside, but I might not have a choice here.
That's okay.
You don't like it if it's a little moist, Kev?
My computer doesn't.
Okay, so federal agents raided the Turney home in December of 2008. They raided it and they found bombs, more working bombs than they'd ever seen before in the state of Arizona.
It's just saying something because Arizona's pretty fucked up. Sorry if y'all from Arizona. You guys are fucked up.
Yeah, you are. So they found 3 fire bombs and 26 pipe bombs fitted with steel shot to enhance the shrapnel. So he just had all of this in the house.
What the fuck were the bombs for?
To blow up the local union. because the local union wanted to kill him. So he had a plan to go and kill them first.
Is that like conspiracy to commit arson?
I mean, he got 10 years in prison for bomb possession.
Cool. Okay.
So basically, he also figured out during this whole trial that if he had Sarah listed as like part of his legal counsel, they could write letters back and forth, and the jail was not allowed to open those letters because they were to a legal counsel.
I don't think she passed the bar association. I don't think that counts.
No, but it was like she was the legal secretary or something like that.
They put her on as a paralegal or some bullshit.
Yeah, so like he found ways around it so that he could still write her letters and tell her things and be like, oh, well, you need to do this with this stuff and you need to do that and you need to do this and take care of this and da-da-da-da. So in December of 2008, the police call Sarah and they're like, hey, can you come into the station real quick? We got to talk to you. And she goes, okay, but like I have to go to a college class. Can it wait or do you need me like right now? And they were like, no, like we need you like right now. So she goes down to the station and she's like, okay, cool. Like what's up? Like I have to go to school. Like I have to go to my Spanish test. Like I'm going to fail my Spanish test if I'm not there and I can't fail my Spanish test. Like any like 19-year-old would be like, oh my God, I can't fail. So
I'm sorry if I'm in a police station, it can wait.
But she was like every time she went to the police station, it was the same shit. Where it was like, so we don't have anything for your sister and we really don't have anything on the case and we're really not doing anything, but like, we're just going to talk to you. And she goes, what's going on? Like, why is this important right now if you don't have anything new to tell me? And like, that was her attitude, which I understand. I get it. So, that day, the police detectives that worked the case told her that her father was a piece of garbage and that they believed he killed Alissa. They also told her that they were raiding their house for bombs and weapons as they were speaking. And she was like, okay, can I go home? Like, I need to be there. Like, I need to be with my dad. Like, he's not going to be okay. I need to be there. Because Sarah was 1,000,000% a daddy's girl. And at this point, she still believed that he did nothing wrong and that Alissa ran away. Because that's what he had been telling her for so long, for 7 years. So they told her that they believed he killed her. And so during the bomb trial, Michael pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 10 years in prison. During the raid, the police found a manifesto titled The Story of a Madman Martyr. And in this manifesto, Michael lays out his plot to blow up the local union building and kill thousands of people.
Oh, we love that.
Yeah. Great guy. Amazing.
Model citizen.
Model citizen. He also goes
A
into
pillar
detail.
of the community.
If you
He
will.
needs to be blown up himself. So he goes into detail about how he knows that 2 of the men from the local union kidnapped and killed Alissa to get to him. And that in order to get back at them, he killed those men. Even though the death records and death certificates show that those men, like, didn't die by murder. It was, like, more natural causes than murder. And this is where he says that the guys told him that they killed Alissa and buried him in Desert City, California. So this makes the cops, like, really interested, and they're like, so he knows she's dead and didn't call the police to open up a missing persons case, even though he was told that his daughter was murdered.
You love that. I mean, what
Like,
else would you do, really?
Logic, not that.
Mm.
So this is when the detectives open up Alissa's case as a missing persons case. So now they're going to start investigating. But 7 years has gone by. And so they have to go through, they never interview her friends. They never get a statement from Michael because he refuses to talk to them about it. And like, he's just so uncooperative. And so nothing really happens, but they still keep looking into it. And they're like, we'll find more leads. We'll do this, da, 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 but nothing happens. So at some point, the detectives working on the case tell Sarah to get media attention. They're like, get some media attention, put some pressure on the district attorney so that they can press charges. So Sarah does that. She also gets told that they're going to do a silent witness campaign. And with this silent witness campaign, there'll be a billboard for Alissa on every main highway in Arizona.
Awesome.
There's no billboards.
Wait, why not?
Because the silent witness campaign isn't a real thing. So Sarah, through her Patreon and through donations, got enough money to finally put up a billboard this year.
Finally.
So there's finally a billboard up on one of the main highways in Arizona with Alyssa's face and saying, please help, any information, call this person, get this case out. So Sarah has gone above and beyond to get all of the media attention that she can. She got her family to do 2020. She got so many YouTubers to do episodes on her. So like John Lorden does a really good multi-parter. Stephanie Harlow's is amazing. And then Kendall Ray's is really good as well. And basically, then she decides, you know what? I'm going to start my own podcast and I'm going to tell Alyssa's story from the beginning. And so she does. And it's amazing. So this does nothing. The detectives were reassigned to different cases, and Sarah was told, yeah, they're not working on missing persons cases anymore. They're working on other things. Even though they were still working on missing person cases, they were just taking it off of hers. And the detective that takes over the case knows nothing about it and doesn't care to look into it.
Then why is it on his desk?
Because at least she has someone to contact now, but he doesn't know about the case and he just doesn't really care.
Are you sure he's not friends with what's his face?
I don't think so.
Okay. I wanted a more conspiracy, I guess. Let's add a...
That's fair.
Yeah.
So Alissa has had people reach out who like train the cadaver dogs.
Yeah.
And like to do cadaver dogs, they have to have so many hours of like practice. So they're like, listen, we have to have our dogs practice anyway. Do you want us to come out? Like if you get the police to okay it so that if they do find anything, there is an officer there and it's not like chain of evidence, basically. They're like, do you want us to come out and have our dogs come out and like practice run and see if we find anything out in Desert City? And she's like, well, let me ask the police, see if it's something we're allowed to do. And the police say no. They're like, we don't have the funding for that. She goes, well, I already have it set up. Like, you don't have to pay for it. I just need a police officer out there to like make sure it's okay. And they're like, yeah, well, that's out of our jurisdiction anyway, so we can't okay it. And she goes, okay, so should I go to them? And they're like, yeah, no, she's probably not even there anyway. So
that shit is bananas.
They just keep blocking everything she comes up with. She's like, well, what about this? Well, what about that? Well, can we do like a search with like, so you know how they do grid searches with like a whole bunch of people?
Yeah.
In fields. So she wants to do that. She's like, listen, I have thousands of people who are like, we'll come out and we will help you grid search. Just let us know when. And the police are like, well, you don't understand. Like, that's so dangerous. That area is so like rough terrain and like you have to have enough water and you have to have this. And she's like, okay, I will get that. Like, if these people volunteer, will a cop come out and be there with me so that if we find anything, it's legal? And they're like, no. So then she also got the opportunity to speak at CrimeCon on a panel.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, well, would your police officers, like the detectives on the case, come out and speak? And the detectives were like, yeah, no, we don't really want to. We don't think that would help at all. And she's like, why are you stopping everything I do? And they're just not helping.
Is this like a pride bullshit thing? Like, we said
Basically.
it's nothing. You're going over our heads. We don't have time for your bullshit.
Yep.
You're making us look like assholes, so we're going to be assholes.
So this next part is really, really, really going to piss you off. And I'm not sorry.
You should be.
I'm not.
I'm on this journey now. I can't.
I'm almost done. I thought this was going to be a two-parter, and it's not.
That's okay. That gives people an excuse to listen to this girl's podcast.
Yes. I mean, it's like an hour and a half. That's fair.
Yeah.
So when Michael's released from jail, Sarah's like, I want nothing to do with this fuck. Like, you're a piece of shit, and I don't want anything to do with you. But she meets up with him at a local Starbucks and records the conversation. Because Arizona is a one-party consent state, as long as she knows she's being recorded and she consents to it, it's fine. And, like, she kind of used that against her dad because he's the one that taught her that.
Ah.
So she records the entire conversation, and she actually plays all of the conversation on her podcast, and, like, it gave me chills.
Oh my God, I can't wait to listen to this podcast.
So he denies everything. He's like, Sarah, I never told you that. Sarah, I never said that. Like, you're wrong. Like, that never happened. Like, I don't know where you're getting this from, but, like, that never happened. But what really, like, messed me up, he says that he will tell her everything if she comes to his deathbed. And he'll tell her on his deathbed. So you just admitted that you're guilty. 100%.
No shit. You are literally saying, I know some shit, and I'm not going to tell you
on my deathbed. Wait, it gets worse. He also said that he would tell the police. He would talk to the police and tell the police everything if they gave him lethal injections within 10 days after talking. So he just admitted to it.
You know what happens to child molesters in jail? Child rapists? Do you know what the fuck happens?
That's why he wants lethal injections.
You don't get an easy way out. I hope you get rammed up the ass with many painful objects.
So, like, he's in his 70s, and I need him to, like, go to jail before he dies. Or get hit by something, like a bus.
Well, what if we almost put him out of his misery? Like, beat him within an inch of his life. And then he has to talk, because that's him on his deathbed. It's an inch away from death.
Good plan.
I said we beat him stupid. Get some bricks. Get some socks. You know, I got a baseball bat somewhere. We can make this happen.
So Sarah takes this recording to the police, and she's like, look, I got him to admit things. I got him to say this. Like, please bring him in. Please interrogate him. Because he's never been interrogated. He's never been questioned in this case.
Dude, they always look at immediate family. Like, you have to question them before you rule them out.
They did not question anyone. So Sarah takes the confession in, and she goes, look, I got this. Like, what can we do with it? And they were like, well, he never said that to us, so we can't do anything. Yeah. So she's like, okay, cool. So, like, what now? And they're like, well, we don't know. She's like, well, look, I got all these signatures on this petition. Look, I got all of these, like, followers on my YouTube, on my podcast. She now has a TikTok, too, and I love it. But
speaking of which, you owe me some TikToks, just saying.
I do. I know. So.
Oh, you could do one of hers, right? Like, you could duet that shit.
Oh, something. I could. You're right.
Yeah.
So basically, the detectives were like, yeah, no one ever told you to get media attention. We don't know where you got that from. And literally, my favorite thing that she ever says, she goes, okay, well, you guys are going to be sorry when Alyssa's case makes it to Netflix.
Did it? Please tell me it's on Netflix.
No, not yet.
All right,
I mean, it made it to ABC 2020.
Is that shit on Hulu? Because I think 2020 shit's on Hulu.
It might be.
I mean...
So, like, it got national attention, and now it's in the headlines again.
I mean, I'm going to look that shit up. I'm not going to lie. I hope it's not like Waco where I can't sleep because it's bothering me. Because now it's bothering me.
It bothers me so much. Like, this is what I listen to at work, and I'm just like, I want to murder him. Like, I want to hurt him.
Well, you can take it out on something.
So, I have a few case updates, and then I'm done.
Okay, what you got for me? Because I need some sort of closer to a resolution here.
It's getting close.
I'm anxious.
I know. In December of 2018, the Maricopa County Attorney's Office asked the Phoenix police to present the case for prosecution. The police never responded. Yeah, Maricopa County is bullshit.
They are the literal worst.
Responded.
The literal worst.
The literal worst.
Then, in January 2019, Sarah had a meeting with the commander named Christina Gonzalez, and this is the one that Sarah was like, well, I can't wait till you see this case on Netflix because you're gonna fucking be sorry. And she said that they wouldn't be pressing murder charges against Michael without more evidence. After she said that, Sarah went off and was like, well, you're going to be fucking sorry because you guys did nothing, and like the whole world's going to know how negligent you were and how much of a piece of shit you are, and you just don't care about people, and da-da-da-da-da. So
good.
A week later, Sarah got an email from the Phoenix PD saying, Sarah, we are submitting our case to the prosecutors for charges against Michael.
Yes.
That was January of 2019.
Oh my God. It was over a year ago.
Yeah. But
no, wasn't that June 9th, 2020?
She just announced it.
Oh, okay.
So because they told her January 2019, but they had to do more research and do more digging. And then she announced it to everyone, and they announced it then.
Gotcha.
Because they don't want to announce it too early and then give him a chance to cover more shit up. So
Sherlock now wants to be part of the podcast.
Oh,
that's right. I had Lucy on the mic earlier going. Wait,
she's so cute. So those are my case updates.
So you're gonna keep us posted if something else happens.
Oh, 1,000,000,000%. Because this is a case that keeps me up at night. Because people, I guess it's the John Benet Ramsey case for people where I'm just yeah, whatever, Burke did it. But this case, I'm listen, we know who did it. He admitted to it. And the police are just dragging their feet because there's no body. And do you know how hard it is to prove something without a body?
Yeah, it's a big issue in court.
It's a big issue, but you also refuse to look for the body.
Free cadaver dogs.
You refuse to look. That's on you.
Kev, what are your thoughts?
My same as always. This is some bullshit.
Ooh.
Also, scene change. I'm now in my condo because it's pissing down rain outside.
Oh, good.
I was admiring your cat tree.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid cat tree. Costco, $60.
There you go.
Kevin's a
It's
crazy
six
cat
and a half
lady.
feet. It's 6.5 feet tall. It's fucking awesome.
We have 2 cat trees in my living room.
So do I.
Because we have 4 cats.
Same.
And I'm allergic to all of them.
Hey, Bruce, coming up?
So I'm done.
All right.
On
So
a happy note, let's get some cats. Cats.
palate cleanser.
Oh.
Meow.
They're the best.
I mean, if you want to send me cat memes on Twitter or Instagram, I'm not upset. You can do that.
We are all here for cat memes.
Did you see my aliens one with the little kitten?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We are all here for the cat memes.
So speaking of which, you should probably do a non-offensive dare.
Send us all of the pet pics, no dick pics.
That's not the dare.
No,
I'm just saying, send cat pics. Pet pics, cows, cats, dogs, ferrets, gerbils, hamsters. Send your
Okay.
friends to us.
There is a solid gap between 76 and 94.
76 to 94.
82.
There you go.
Okay.
Fuck.
It's not one of my better dares.
Oh.
But this is a good opportunity to use your pet as inspiration.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, so your Patreon dare this week is to scrapbook something.
Okay.
I love me some multimedia art. You just need one page of whatever you want to scrapbook.
Don't scrapbook your actual pet. That's not a good thing.
No, but you could put like
fine.
the little paw prints with the picture and like the little puppy sticker. I don't fucking know, but I scrapbook something. Make multimedia art page something.
I'm just saying. Don't use your actual pet.
Well, you could use a photo of your pet. Or
Yes, but don't use the actual pet. That's all I'm saying.
Well, my fish would not adhere to paper with glue very easy because he's slimy.
Not if you let him
Fair.
dry out first.
Oh my god.
So speaking of Kev saying something wildly inappropriate, we have a new segment.
We have a new segment.
Yeah, you have a new segment. I allotted you a task
Yes, you did.
for every episode.
Don't
I
be
don't know
fucking trash.
Wait, what are we
I don't
going
know
to
if I
call
can.
it?
I don't know. What is it? Just the weird facts?
Well, it's supposed
Kevin's
to be...
trash?
Oh, no. It's supposed to be a weird fact that's true. And it's
Yes.
Kev's things. It's Kev's weird facts that are true. We need to come up with a better name for it.
How about weird true facts?
By Kev.
Weird but true?
Weird but
I like
true.
it. Sounds
By
weird
Dirty
but
Uncle.
okay. Sounds weird but true.
Yeah. Sounds weird but true. Okay, I'll put that on the title card for Instagram. I like it.
Perfect.
So I actually did do this one in the right order, unlike the research I did for the wrong episode. Not my fault. So this harkens back to the first episode I was on. Go back and listen to that one if you haven't. And so there was an author named Janet Frame who was scheduled to have a frontal lobotomy. When it was announced that she had won the National Literary Prize, they canceled the procedure.
No shit.
Damn.
Look at me being topical.
Holy
at you.
shit. That one's so good.
I know, right? I've set the bar way too high. It's going to be all disappointment from here on out.
Wait, what was her prize for again? Literary?
She won it doesn't say what it was, but she had won a National Literary Prize. The procedure was then canceled.
Huh.
Nice.
That's pretty good. That's
I know, I
pretty
set the
good.
bar way too high. Don't expect this shit from here on out. It's probably going to be trash from here on out. So
That's
No,
fair.
no, I love it. It's so good.
Bruce
George?
wants to be famous.
So does Brandy.
I do.
Yeah, you need to retire by 27.
You got 2 years, bitches.
Got to get that Patreon up.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me
Join
retire.
Patreon.
He's
see
got a
Kit Kats.
mustache. Your cat has a fucking mustache.
It's actually the bat signal.
You got to send me a picture of that
It's
for
so cute.
Instagram. We need more cats on the Instagram.
He was a stray. So we adopted him from a shelter, and they named him Bruce
Aw.
Wayne because
Oh,
he has the bat signal on his face. It's so adorable. I love
Oh,
this
so
cat
he's
so
a Bruce
much.
Bruce.
Yes,
Bruce
he's the
Our
best
one
Bruce
cat-
ever. Kicks the shit out of the actual Bruce Wayne, because who's not an actual superhero. Come at me.
All right, wait.
No,
Before we leave, did you guys read my post on the AI? The AI that wrote a Batman script.
no, because I tried to and I was at work.
No, because I'm trash. Come at me.
Oh my God! No, I got to read you this thing.
Perfect.
Okay,
Because
I
I was
was-
going to and then I lost it.
Yeah, wait. I'm trying to find it right now. Okay, here we go. So this guy Keaton Patty on Twitter. Okay, he said I
Mhm.
forced a bot to watch over 1,000 hours of Batman movies, and then asked it to write a Batman script of its own. Here's the first page. You will not be disappointed. Okay, ready? It says Batman. Traditional Bat cave for the setting. Batman stands next to his Batmobile and uses his Bat computer. He's sometimes Bruce Wayne, sometimes Batman. All times orphan. Batman.
Fair.
This is now a safe city. I have punched a penguin into prison. Alfred, Batman's loyal butler, carries a tray of goth ham.
Oh, I like Gotham.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Alfred.
I'm here for the Gotham.
Yeah, ready. Alfred. Eat a dinner, Mattress Wayne. An explosion explodes. The Joker.
As they tend to do.
Yeah. The Joker and Two-Face enter the cave. Joker is a clown, but insane. Two-Face is a man, but an attorney.
But an attorney.
But an attorney.
Batman. No, it's Two-Face and One-Face. They hate me for being a bat. Batman throws Alfred at Two-Face. Two-Face flips Alfred like a coin. Alfred lands head up, which means Two-Face goes home.
Fucking great.
Batman continued. It is just you and I, the Joker. Bat versus clown. Moral enemies. The Joker. I am such a freak. Society is bad. You drink water, I drink anarchy.
I love that. That is solid.
That's fantastic.
That is fantabulous.
Wait, it gets better. Batman. I drink bats, just like a bat would. Batman looks around for his parents, but they are still dead.
They are still dead.
This makes him have anger. He fires a bat rocket. The Joker deflects it with his sixth sense of humor. A clown.
Batman is not amused.
The Joker. I have never followed a rule. That is my rule. Do you follow? I don't. Batman. Alfred, give birth to Robin. Alfred begins the process since it is his job. The Joker now has a present in his hand. He juggles it over to Batman. The Joker. Happy Bat Day, Birthman. Batman opens the present since he's a good guy. It contains a coupon for new parents, but it's expired. This is a Joker joke. That's the first page.
That is amazing.
I love your
That is
little
amazing.
Funko Pops. I needed a palate cleanser. I needed it. Sorry, guys. I am the nerdy witch.
It's okay.
That's amazing. That's hysterical.
Coupon for new parents, but it's expired. I am not disappointed. Actually,
so
it'd be way better than the Ben Affleck flick. I will take it.
that's fair. We were
You're not
playing
wrong.
Cards Against Humanity, and my favorite card is Dead Parents.
No.
Because I'm fucked. So it was like, what's Batman's secret pleasure? And I played Dead Parents.
Oh, no.
I mean, you're not wrong.
And everyone was like, Brandy, you're fucked. And I was like, hi. Have we met?
All right, guys. I
Well,
gotta
I
get
think
going.
we're done.
Okay,
I will-
I'm going to bed.
We'll catch you next week at the same bat time at the same bat channel.
Bye.
Bye.
See you guys.